Well, my screen isn't shared. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So, it will depart from the European Union has led to a change in the. Now, this shows a lack of understanding. Mahad, see,
Yeah.
in our emergent change strategy, we can apply the quarters. 8-stage process isn't for emergent change strategies, planned change strategy. And you said we can apply. Again, this is sort of modal mood expression. No,
Yeah. I see.
quarters 8-step. I'm giving you a guiding example. Quarters 8-step change model. Well, can was still fine here. I got it wrong by interpretation, but still fine. Yeah. But again, this is not emergent strategy. Barclays Bank can successfully manage the transition period. Executive summary is an overview of what you're doing, what you've done is an overview of your entire assignment. This process includes creating a sense of redundant line. Don't use it. Barclays HRM assesses job efficiency and other staff with reviews and constructive as well negative performance. Staff is one of the hardest and most alarming problems facing country managers. The Kubler will be effectively used by divisions. But Kubler has been advised training is necessary because more or less fine. Yeah, this is more or less fine. Your executive summary is like overview of your, what do you call that? That's an overview of what you have done. So it's like all the key points covered. I've already given, you have deployed a automatic table, or this looks like an automatic table.
Yeah. I'll update it as we go further.
Well, this is a wrong reference given here. Yeah, see, this needs to be done back to normal. Yeah. Oh, these shouldn't be H1s. They're all normal. Now we can update the table. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So introduction, established in 1960 with headquarters in London. Barclays Bank is active in more than 40 countries. So Mahad, I might not be repeating some of the instructions that I've already given in this. So they will apply to your assignment as well. Introduction should have, when you will see that, even though it's for strategic marketing, they'll apply equally to you. So you
Okay.
can tailor them and apply them to your context. Give a sorry, where is that? Yeah, give a context. Company information. In your case, context is like Brexit, Brexit changing the business climate. Hence, the drivers for change are triggered due to the environmental shifts changing place around the business environment that your company is operating in, necessitating a need for organizational change within Barclays. Now, Barclays is this information that you're giving. That's good. I'll appreciate that. So company information, and then assignment objectives reworded in you, like give in your own words, check from the assignment brief, give in your own words, but do not please lose the what do you call them, keywords. Like if it says analyze the environmental factors, right, to identify the drivers, you should use like this report will analyze the environmental factors to identify the drivers of change for Barclays Bank. And there will be 2-3 more objectives. You can state them in your own words, but don't lose the keywords such as this one: analyze, evaluate, explain, critically assess, or assess, critically analyze. See, these are, don't lose them. So that's how my introduction will go. Your introduction looks like good. It says 1960, 1690 with that for London Barclays operates in sectors other than investment banking by giving them equal prices. Aim of this report is to do all kinds of issues. Now this is, you're trying to give the assignment objectives, right?
Yeah.
No, check it from the aim of this report is to differentiate all kinds of issues for Barclays. What do you mean by that? Now this is the wording. Let me open the, what do you call that, assignment brief for you. This is LMC-CW1. LMC-CW1. It says that you should write a report which explains the extent to which an organization with which you are familiar with must change in the current economic climate, and whether the need to take a planned or unplanned change going forward justify your answer. And then it says, in the context of your chosen business, evaluate how the HR management can support the plan and plan change approach, considering both business strategy and external factors impacting the business. These are the two tasks. You can reword them, like, reword them. For this part, for the assignment objective part, you can reword them. This report will explain the extent to which Barclays Bank will need to change in response to the environmental change in business climate because of Brexit. It will also evaluate whether Barclays Bank will, it will also explain, because explain is a keyword here, Barclays Bank will need to take a planned or an unplanned change approach in implementing this change. For example, yeah, and evaluating it. The report will further evaluate how the HR management can support the change process, keeping in view the business strategy and the overall environmental factors. See, so if I remove the numbering, I'm not liking the numbering here. I'll go with the para form. Okay. This is a bit of a formatting issue. You can settle that later on. Yeah. Now, you tell me where is differentiate all kind of issues being used here. No, it's not being used anywhere in this entire task requirement. You see,
Yeah.
suppose and to include a response to one of those issues, and include a response. What kind of response? No, brother, this wording is not there. You can check that. The report will deal with external from how to impact by how to analyze, organize, to improve the way Barclays European Banking Division did not create a real backup strategy or eventually don't persuade your views on investors. That's 2017. See if this is relevant for this Brexit. While the most people like, or I mean, it could have been because Barclays was, I think, facing some sort of other issues as well. See if this is relevant for. So while the most likely possible lack of relevant market access, no, don't do this. Don't do this. This information, according to KPMG, more than 50 billion also issues. Again, this is repetition. Name of the report is repetition. Yeah. Just a second. See, I mean, you can see if you can use this information at some other relevant point in the assignment, not here.
Okay.
Point in the assignment. Okay. So, yeah, drivers of change. Okay, looking at the, again, this is superfluous wording. In fact, you said Barclays Bank face is the post-Brexit which provided motive for the bank to change. Questions that would be carried out. We discussed this in fact, the fact industry impacting from employers. Okay. Get it brief and to the point. It's good that you're giving an introduction to the section. Give one liner, two liner. Is being used here to identify the drivers of change for Barclays developments. So how about this? 27 words only. These were quite a lot of words, more than double 27, you know. This is what, so I've introduced, you know, I'll put a reference here. Yeah, I'll put a reference here because this is a definition of pastel. I need to give it from some source. which is being, this is a task requirement which is being used here to do what? I mentioned it here. Identify the drivers of change.
Yes.
See, this is a driver of change. So political factors making it cheaper for the I have given already, I've given pastel analysis, I've given guidance for strategic marketing,
Yeah.
although the perspective is slightly different in this lecture. In this case, we are doing the pastel to identify the drivers of change. In strategic marketing coursework one, we are doing pastel to, what do you call this? We're doing pastel to check out the suitability of the target market for our recommended product and company, suitability for the company. So political factors, here we'll see what political, okay, I'm giving you the theme I'm giving you. As a result of that, can think on these lines. This is a guiding note for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we come here. You said as a result, the price of pound will fall in value, making it cheaper in the future. Cheaper against what? Because Barclays is a British multinational, this would have a detrimental on the bank's profitability. Because of domestic cash slowdowns, they will not gain from other currencies. Furthermore, important levies rise as a result of the withdrawal. Any corporation avoids tax and number. Okay, I get you. I get you. When you do pastel, three things. Analysis, at least have these three things. Combine it with supporting research, plus combine it with the context. So I'm writing something hypothetical here. I'm writing something hypothetical here because I haven't done this research. I'm just giving you a guiding style. Brexit will lead. Brexit has left Spain. This is important. Reference. This is something I cannot say by myself. UK. So this is again a reference. this is just an example, this is the style of things we should be doing. See, this is the style in which we should be doing this festival. This is all, analysis, not supported by as such, not supported by relevant research or linked to the context. So, as a result of that, the pound will fall in value. How can you say that? It might increase in value. You need to have a reference here. Sorry, what just happened here? Practice lack of relevant UK financial industry access. Partners do not have very conservative plans. The European Economic Region. Is this a proper term that you have capped it? You need to check this. I think simply write it as the European Union or European countries. This will contribute to reduction of both existing new customers in the future. Overall the approach is good, and overall the work is good. Mahad, you there,
Yes,
Mahad?
Islam. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
So I see that, the overall approach and direction is very good, and there has been work done, but if you could sort of redesign it this style,
Yeah, I'll be happy to.
Yeah. Lack of UK financial industry access. We don't have both existing and new customers non-UK shops in accordance with the legislation. Once a passport or an alternative unable to conduct business in the EU without the separate. This is some good information. Mitchell Fox is saying this. Indeed, the EU enjoys preferential trading rules and system. UK's international commerce. This is overall a good, but again, a bit of analysis as well. Overall, still, still a good attempt. Link it with analysis, link it with keep a link with a context and supporting research. Overall, it's a good attempt on the question. Change as predictable events. Make sure you're doing enough of paraphrasing to avoid, plagiarism. And this style, if you're doing it, like you're having the research, having the analysis, supporting research, and linked to the context. That's the best style. To comply with the environmental regulation policy, there's new legislation. If you could give it a name, if you could name this legislation besides take care of employment policy, maintaining a good employment ratio in the society. As you flow, you are basically, the flow should be such analysis, supporting research. This is one of the advised approaches, supporting research, linked to the context, it's the company context, and identifying it as, threat or opportunity. And how it can be a driver of change. Just saying, it's not a hard and fast, formula rule that you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Overall, the style should be such. Overall, the requirement should be met this way. Legal factors. No, legal factors means, change in the applicable laws. So you can see check out the banking laws, because Barclays is a bank, as a financial institution, or the financial laws. And if there's a change because of EU or because of UK leaving the European Union, see? So you can check this out, change in the applicable laws and any legal framework that was applicable. So, you have these banking laws as well. And you have this banking corporate governance frameworks, things like that you can check, and you can see if there has been a change because of this Brexit decision, and how will it impact the Barclays. So that's the way you can go about. Technology, believe in it. Because the last minute engagement, trial and error. No, not this way. The direction is, again, environmental level. What are the changes at the environmental level? What are the technological changes if there were any technology transfer pacts between UK and EU member states that might go in jeopardy or that might become suspended and eventually end up affecting the UK organizations, including Barclays. That's the approach, Mahad.
Yes, Hassan, I understand.
Yeah, that's the approach.
Hassan, if we can't find anything relevant to that section, then how should I proceed with that?
If you don't find with that anything, that's again a good question. We can conclude that Brexit, like we can give in some research, let's say you checked a review of the technological implications of Brexit was carried out, or you can say technological implications of Brexit. Relevant literature was including XYZ was reviewed for any logical implications of Brexit. However, it was found, or the review revealed, that Brexit does not have any logical implications for UK and companies based in the. So this is the style you can follow for such,
Yeah, okay.
So at least the examiner or the marker knows that you have done this. So
yeah.
Even if one reference is given, let's say, I'm assuming writing up, because I'll need to Google things up, we don't have time for that. So what I'm going to do is, are there any technology pacts between, if there are any, technology pacts number 1, 2, and 3, and 3 between London and Paris and Berlin, for example, will remain unaffected by Brexit. Hence, there are no implications for companies based in the UK, for example. So I'm referring to specific technology packs, so the understanding and the research is shown. I've done the research, nothing is found, fair enough. That's how you do it, rather than writing something that is wrong. Has a legal exchange, the perspective lesson being, again, so the important point, Mahad, is that we are scanning the environment to see the drivers of change. If, for example, if a driver of change is triggered in the environment, that will necessitate the organization to change. For example, I'm telling you, all the companies in the UK are using 4G. I'm giving you a hypothetical example for understanding. All the companies in the UK are using 4G. And then Brexit takes place. Then now European Union countries, member states have got 5G and UK have got 4G. Now company in the UK will not have access to 5G because of Brexit. So they will have to change. Change in the form of do what? Change by approaching the UK government to either negotiate access to 5G from the European Union or seek 5G technology from any other source such as US, Russia, etc. See, that's the point. So any environmental factors that because of Brexit are triggered. You said that, yeah, simple as you said there will be European employees in the UK working in UK companies. Brexit means that now they will be considered immigrants. The Schengen visa will not apply anymore. If I'm not wrong, you can check this out, just giving a direction for thought. Now, that means that the companies will have to adopt, implement those immigration laws, get those work visas issued. That's a change they will have to undertake. So this is the direction of thought. Yeah, change management requirements. Emergent change is unpredictable, often unintended, and can occur from anywhere, necessitating very informal self-organization. Iterative shift happens should be discussed before real thoughts. Well, that's good. That's good. There is a European subsidiary over there, and therefore there will be implications for the European Economic Region, legal agencies and investment. No. Mahad, no. This is change management requirements within Barclays.
Yeah.
Tell briefly, manage the word count. What is organizational change? Even if it is like 1.5 liners, that's it. Give a reference then. What is planned and unplanned change approach? Okay. I'm going to just wait a second. Have these. Wait a second. That's how you go about. This isn't meeting the requirements. Mahad, we will need a separate session on this. You can check the recorded ones as well. There is relevant guidance over there.
Okay.
Actually, I will have to leave now. It's unavoidable. Otherwise, I would have stayed back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought there was less work. There's more work. HR strategy, Yeah, 5P model has to be implemented, but not this way. I'll tell you how. This is too narrative and too, what do you call this? Too narrative and too
Understand.
theoretical. Resistance to change, not quarters, 8 steps, 6 stage, emergent change plan. No, no, no. No, Mahat, lot of revamping required. Let
Yeah.
me arrange the next session. Let me arrange the next session, Mahat.
Okay.
I'm saving it for now. I'm saving it here for now. We will resume this in the next session. I've already given you the feedback. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I was hoping for this kind of feedback, which is much more targeted. And thank you very much for doing this for me.
Yeah, Mahat. So we'll meet in the next session. Let's see if we can have it tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
going to
perfectly
coordinate
fine.
with you guys. I'm going to have more sessions on these interactive sessions on feedback. So I'll come back on this, Mahat.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
now I'll have to leave, but I'll get in touch with you guys again.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Could you just send me as far as what we've done? Could you just send this to me?
Yeah, I can definitely send you. I'll actually add some more comments here, and I'll send this to you then.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that would be good. That would be good. So I can get started on it.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Mahat. Take care.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Take care. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Sorry, Mahat, you're back. I just saw the message. I thought you would unmute yourself and say something to me.
Yeah, I did. I think my voice might have not gotten through or something.
Yeah. So that's your assignment. And we'll take a look at strategic marketing coursework too as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to send that to you
Yeah.
in a bit.
So Mahat, that's your screen, right? That's your assignment.
Yes, that's my assignment.
So we left the previous lecture.
Yes,
we left
it at Pestle, I think.
Yeah, no, at this.
Okay, a change management.
That's how you go about the change management requirements within Barclay. You tell how unfreezing is mainly what needs to, how to unfreeze the status quo. You get my point?
Yeah.
So any practices, business practices, or any organizational processes or practices that are going on, but now required to be changed. See, in view of the Brexit taking place,
Yeah.
in view of the required change that need to be changed, for them to be changed, the ground is laid. The ground is laid first to do the unfreezing of the status. Status quo is what is happening at the moment, but is not desired for the future. So unfreezing will necessarily entail what? It has an HR aspect as well. So let's say your employees are used to a certain kind of SOP, right? So there's a thing they do in a certain way. And then from an overall organizational perspective, you also have to see, because people have psychological reasons to resist change, and people will have
Yes.
social reasons to resist change, and even organizational reasons to resist change. You see that. So, of all these reasons, you need to educate them, maybe, have workshops, or you can appoint change champions. Then there is this concept of shifters within organizations. So you can do the research on these lines, but try to keep it linked to the context and try to have supporting research in everything you do. So how do you actually change? What are the procedures that need to, for example, Barclays now has to, you've identified in the Pestle that Barclays now has to deal with a new custom law or new finance regulations framework. For example, you following me?
Yes, Hassan.
Yeah. So it has to deal with now a new banking framework. So you will need to do what? In the change part, you'll need to incorporate that framework in the operational manual, and or amend the bank's operational manual in line with the new applicable banking framework. For example, and refreezing is like consolidating the change so that the changed processes culture becomes the new normal. Theoretically. So refreezing might involve having incentivization, incentivizing or rewarding adaptation to change. It also might involve oversight to ensure adherence to change process. So you need to take steps with which you can embed the change in the organizational culture, tone, and tenor. So that's the theory part. See, but it has to be linked with supporting research and linked with the context. So, in the HR strategies for change in the medium term, yeah. Preferably have a reference for a statement like this. It's an assertive statement. Preferably have a reference for it. Mahad, are you following me, right?
Yes, I'm following you, Hassan.
And Mahad, because I'm sharing the screen and I'm working on your assignment, if anybody else joins in, please let me know.
Yeah, okay, I'll let you know.
Yeah, so it's just two of us here at the moment.
Yes, unfortunately, it's just two of us.
5-tier HRM framework that this is at all levels, Barclays, that is true. Used to determine wage increases. Performance. Okay. This is some good background information. But is this the framework that is being used? Excuse me for a second, please. So, so the SP, the 5P model of human resources can be applied in the following. Are you sure this is the 5P HRM model? Do recheck.
Yeah, I'm gonna recheck this then.
It says philosophies, policies. Well, if you can do a bit of research, let's say, what I'm just giving you guiding notes here. What HRM model is Barclays using at present? This will show your research actually. How much have you researched for this assignment? Philosophies, and again your analytical approach. How suited is that HRM model to the Brexit context, or managed successfully managing the transition through the Brexit phase? Okay. Again, you say Barclays regards the human resource manager as a capable individuals for running. First of all, it's like sort of slightly out of context. Secondly, this kind of statement requires a reference in the research. How can you say that? Policies are decided by the HRM department, then constructively applied throughout the bank operations. Again, all of these statements will require references. And a bit of trial linking with the context. You can actually quote, let's say, you can quote. I'm giving you a sample quote, giving you a sample example, for example. Employees HRM. Can you check with the Harvard referencing guidelines if this reference needs to come before this inverted comma or after this inverted comma? I'm not sure.
Do you want me to check now or just check it later?
I check it later,
Okay.
I'm going to post it. Check out the Harvard referencing guidelines on the formatting of the citation, of such a citation. Get my point? So, Matt, if you can quote an example like this, like a statement from one of the senior officials, etc. So that shows the research being done.
Yeah.
Speaking to the context. I hope you get the point. Mahat, excuse me for a minute. I'll have to plug this in. I'm losing the battery now. I'll have to plug in the system at some other place. Just give me a second. Hi, Mahad. So you're there?
Yes, Hassan, I'm here.
I just,
Two students joined. I'd just like to let you know.
yeah, thank you. So what we are, Jesse, when I texted you, I think it was not, you know, Wing, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And you?
I'm perfectly fine. So we have Jesse with us, Wing, and Mahad with us.
Yeah.
Wing, this is LMC-CW1. Jesse, if you could give us a bit of time, and then I'm going to come to MIB-CW2. Mahad, do you have to reappear for MIB as well?
No, Hassan, just strategic marketing and LMC.
Okay. So what we are going to do is I'm going to finish your LMC coursework 1 first, then we are going to move to MIB coursework 2 for Jesse, and then I'm going to come back to strategic marketing coursework 2
Okay.
because Jesse was waiting for that.
Yeah, wonderful.
So we resume it here. The policies, and as told you, you need to have those referencing plus supporting research. Transition during through the practice phase. Okay, now resistance to change is important. You can first discuss a bit of theory, reasons for resistance. If you check out, you'll find lots of literature that you can quote here. So there could be psychological reasons for resistance. Let's say there could be social, organizational, behavioral, etc. So do check the on resistance to change. Okay, stiff resistance. Avoid writing, like in academic writing, we are specific and we are straight to the point. Change is one of the most difficult concerning issues. Just telling you for the sake of word count management, because this lecture is for everybody, so all the students will be able to learn from this. Conflicting firm executives can be replaced by one word management. Such opposition can take a variety, including counterproduction, reductions, increasing. Where is the reference? How can you see all of this without a reference? May is a modal verb. It's a modal verb which is not which does not have the right shade here. Can be utilized effectively. Like just telling you, I'll not change it, but this can be keyworded to better deliver. Barclay should pay particular attention to the implementation of the resolution. This is good. When contemplating conscientious training is vital to give specific to schedule. You have given a reference as well. Now link it to your company and understand. Get my point. For example, Ping and Jesse. So this is like useful for everybody. Wing, you're following me. Do we have Wing with us? Wing, are you following me? Wing is muted. He's not joined with sound, I think. Okay. For example, and a specific reference to the finance staff can also be made. Let's say if you do the research, you'll find these details based in the XYZ division, in XYZ city, or whatever. Just giving you a guiding example, how you can link it to the context. The research has to be done for this. Supportive and training. Better off position may be provided daily training when new knowledge becomes to deal with. Urgent change for Barclays. Why are you talking about the emergent change plan for Barclays? Actually, at this point, when we were having this discussion, okay, change management requirements. So, yeah. I told you, talk about organization, what it is. Why is it important? One liner even with a reference. Yeah. What is planned and unplanned approach change? To what extent should give planned and unplanned? Suggest planned change. So while just giving you example, while Barclays has to embrace some degree of unplanned change, given some of the environmental effects are beyond its control and have to be dealt through ad hoc responses, including adjustments to processes, human resource, man, etc. Human resource, etc. However, going forward, the Barclays management should adopt the planned approach to change in order to systematically, etc. So that's how you go about it. Then we come to the planned change. So we've already proposed planned change. Now you should stop talking about the emergent change, because emergent or unplanned. So emergent change is like anything that happens environmentally. We've lost Wing here. I wish if he was here, so you could also have benefited. Mahad, are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, stop talking about emergent change. See, where are we? We are, yeah, we were here, I think. Well, just a second. HR should be instructed to establish organization adoption readiness programs. In our emergent change plan, in our organization, again, our is a personal reference as advised, and as I've actually been repeatedly advising the students to avoid using personal pronouns, whether it is singular or plural. Our is also personal reference. Our is also a personal reference. I think it's a subjective case.
Yeah.
Our. So yeah, avoid that. please avoid using personal pronouns. So in our organizational change plan, you can say, if you have to give a specific reference in its organizational change plan, Barclays should employ Porter's 8-step process for check out the name of transformation. Check the name of this model, exact name of this model, or use the name which is most widely used. This procedure comprises generating a feeling of urgency in the firm. So that's the Porter's 8-step. Apply the model according to the instructions advised earlier. Secondly, please reconfirm, as I am sure that Porter's 8-step model is not a model specific to overcoming resistance to change or for management of resistance. Actually, it's, I think, the 6-step model. If you give me a second, I can give you some useful, I can give them in the chat box or maybe here. Just give me a second. There is a link. There's a very useful link. It's a LinkedIn article. And I'm going to show you how, just give me a second. This is a very good article. I'm putting it here in the, what do you call that, in the chat box. And if you search this article, you will get to know. Let me open it. This is by Lorenzo Federico. He's the Director for Digital Transformation and Emerging Technology at Group Internal Consulting at UBS. And actually, well, it's asking me, I try to follow him. Okay, so just give me a second. And he is proposing 3 methods for, so it's reestablishing the psychological contract, this is Kotter and Schlesinger. According to him, it's Scott and Jeffrey's resistance cycle. And then it is the, he also mentions Kotter Schlesinger 6 methods. Okay, we've already put that there. So let me share the screen with you. And okay, so these are the models. I've already put it here. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is that you can, I would advise that you check them by yourself and then incorporate, apply one of the models. I'd prefer going with Kotter and Schlesinger 6-step model.
Could you just highlight that, please, for me?
Yeah. Because, this is relatively easier for most students to use. So this procedure comprises generating feelings in the firm regarding the change, holding meetings with the banking division, altering the amount. Again, this is like mostly, although it's somewhat, the analysis is right, workers link between implementing that, yeah, resulting in the future prospects. My advice would be to sort of like link it, support it with reference research and link it to context. Rest is fine. The workers will be in charge of ensuring that Ireland subsidiaries, all of its companies handle European banking activities. Staff will be relocated to Ireland subsidiary and demand. Yeah, this is like something linked to the context. See if you can see research, if you can support it with reference research. Like, for example, it could be a quote from a senior Barclays official, or it could be some statement on their what do you call that website, annual report, etc. So these could be the sources. Like you can tell, like they have planned to deploy extra staff for the Ireland subsidiary, or for example, they have planned to withdraw the UK staff from the Ireland subsidiary and move the Irish staff from the head office to the Ireland subsidiary, or to bring back the UK staff and replace the Ireland subsidiary staff with. But again, here you are actually advising on cotton. These are the points you can include in there, you know, that change model that you're deploying the cut levels. So you can use cotton as a 6-step for overcoming resist. Keep the focus to resistance. Please discuss using a relevant theoretical model as advised above, ways to overcome resistance to change. Use supporting research linked to the context as advised. So that's how it is. We come to the conclusion that changing environment work is made. Like be clear with Brexit changing the economic climate. You know, companies face uncertainty. No, this is not the context, Mahat. In a changing environment, workers worry that as technology advances, they can no longer meet them. This is not anywhere in the assignment brief. This shouldn't be coming in the conclusion either, because conclusion is you are concluding your work. Anything which is not relevant except for any sort of personal perspective to the work or your personal recommendation to the work, that can come. But such an analysis which is not even remotely linked to Brexit context, this shouldn't be coming here. So like you sum up your entire work, including key recommendations, key findings and recommendations, and possibly include your personal opinion or perspective on the subject matter under consideration. So for example, just an example, I'm saying like you can have 1-2-liner. If it is Brexit, what I can say as a researcher, I will say that Barclays need to, in addition to ensuring organizational change for successfully harboring the Brexit phase, the management needs to ensure, management needs to see industry, see industry benchmarks, particularly how it's the competitors are dealing with the gadget. That could be one of the possible inclusion. Just a guiding note, example. I'm again saying example, not the
Yeah.
answer. This is not the answer. Just a direction in which you can like put in this. And then you have the references. They look fine. Harvard referencing style. I'm sure you've used that.
Yeah.
And then there's a reference list. So overall, yeah, the effort is there, Mahat, but it has to be streamlined. It has to be lifted to the level, to the required level where
Yes.
you have a safe pass, not a risky pass, not a borderline pass. So you need to make sure you're applying the models appropriately. You're making your arguments sound and valid, supported by research, and we require your personal perspective as well. That also supported by supporting research. So I'm going to email this to you, Mahat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So now we move to Jesse. Jesse, are you there?
Yes, please. I'm here.
Yeah, thank you, Jesse. So Hossein, what we are going to do, we're going to take a 5 minutes break. We're going to take a 5 minutes break here because actually I had a very long lecture before this and my vocal cords are struggling a lot. So
Okay.
yeah, we'll take a 5 minutes break and we'll go through MIB's PW2 for Jesse, and then we are going to come back to your strategic marketing coursework too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So Jesse, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Yeah, be here.
No problem. No problem.
Thanks. So hi Jesse. So let me first open your MIB coursework 2 and just give me a second. Let me open it for you and then we can start reviewing it.
Okay.